wanted to do this, but when you brought it up, I was like, let's do it. Let's just screw it.
And I'm like Wikipedia with that shit, man. 'Cause I
you too, myself. I got you.
But with me though, before we get into what we're going to talk about is conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy theory. Yeah.
But one thing I like to do is I like to be objective with it, right? So I'll hear the conspiracy and then I try to disprove it.
Okay.
But there's some things I just can't disprove.
Okay.
And we'll get to
when I say my favorite conspiracy theories, some of them I don't even believe. But I just wish they were true.
Okay.
I just want them to be true, but there's no way they're true. There's some I actually do believe, but I'm just like, why isn't this true?
Okay.
So we'll start with you this time. What is your favorite conspiracy theory?
My favorite? Like the one I keep going on to and go back and forth with?
The one that's like keeping you up at night. You have like the wall plastered.
I mean, it's simplistic because it's such a popular one, but it's, to me, like the one there's so many questions still. And to me, that's 9/11.
I knew it.
Now, I'm not saying
that's the one I do believe.
Well, in my opinion, I go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a mix of both in the truth. I don't think it's because first off, I don't think Bush knew what was going down because he's such a fucking idiot. He's such a fucking idiot. There's no way that they would trust this motherfucker if shit was really going down. But what I break it down to is our government. I mean, back in the day, do you know what Operation Northwood was?
No.
So back in the Cuban crisis thing, basically Operation Northwood was a plan to get jetliners, crash them to Guantanamo Bay, which is in Cuba, and say that the Cubans did it. Now, John F. Kennedy signed against that, which is another conspiracy you can go to of why it should happen.
Yeah.
But this is completely factual. This is not a conspiracy. You can look it up. You can Google it. And so what I think is that yes, there was Al-Qaeda.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they got planes and they hit the Trade Center. I don't know so much about the Pentagon, but definitely hit the Trade Center. Because I remember that time Osama bin Laden said that he first was like, no, that wasn't, I didn't do that. And then the next thing he was saying that, oh yeah, I did it, and da-da-da-da-da. There's just so many questions, whether it's the insurance on the whole building, whether it's the fact that you look at the Pentagon and it doesn't make sense. Building 7 is the biggest mindfuck to me.
Yeah.
The fact that BBC reported before that Building 7 is down, but the building's still behind them.
Right.
There's just too much like, what the fuck happened? There's things that just don't make sense. So that's my number one is 9/11. So my opinion is, yes, the government knew because they had the reports of what was happening, and there was also something that they had. It was from the neoconservatives. They had this idea of how we can get more power.
Right.
And in the picture, they had the World Trade Center with the target on it, and in the manifesto, they said that what we need is another Pearl Harbor.
Oh wow.
They have some of their neoconservative beliefs to come.
And one thing too, like to add to that, because have you ever seen Zach Guys?
Of course.
That's one of my favorite documentaries.
Really?
Yeah, I love
Even
that.
chapter 1?
We ain't gonna talk about that.
I know what you're talking about. But okay, so one thing that I 100% believe it was an inside job is because it looks like a demolition, and then they had the eyewitnesses report saying that they heard boom, 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 boom,
inside
right
the
there,
towers.
inside the towers. So it looks like a demolition, and they're hearing bombs inside the tower. How do you get bombs inside the tower when a plane is crashing?
Well, I guess, again, to be objective, right?
Go ahead.
The only thing...
Crap all over my argument?
No. Because that's what I do is, like, I want to hear, both things. One of the
you.
arguments is that, there's elevators going down there, and we have... jetliners going in, there's fire coming in, and it goes in the floors, that could start that. But what I don't believe is the pancake theory, where they said it was one thing that dropped down, but we're talking about things that are falling at the same time. So you're throwing a ball off the building.
Right.
So, but I do believe that, it makes sense. And there's reports that a week before that, there was a different security team and people can come at night.
Right.
But again, these are reports and blah, 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 blah.
Thank you.
So I saw one coming in, I'm done, so I'm like, all right, I'll go. So that's one of my favorite ones is 9/11.
Yeah. And I actually 100% believe that. What about you, Quezs?
I should go last.
I'll go next if you want me to.
I don't know if mine's really conspiracy theories, but I'm gonna say the thought of the Illuminati.
Okay, well, no, but that is a conspiracy.
Okay, so there was a long time I believed it, but then I grew up. I'm not saying you're childish. but then I was like, after watching it years later, I was like, nah, I don't know.
To this day, people are still ignorant of what the Illuminati actually is.
Right, and are you talking about like the Jay-Z and the Beyonce type of Illuminati, or are you talking about? Okay,
see, that's where I'm like,
that shit's so bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I'm talking about the group of what the Illuminati essentially was in the beginning. Is a group of scholars and scientists
in Bavaria, Germany.
Yeah, right, absolutely. Right. That try to change the world, however they try to change it, or whatever to make the world better. I mean, Illuminati stands for Illuminated One.
Right.
And then there's this other thing where you have these group of bankers that started this thing where they were their banking process got really big, and then they started taking over governments, and then everybody's like, oh, well, they're taking over the world, they have this much power, da-da-da. Well, if you don't know the real meaning behind it or the truth behind it, then you become, ignorant to everything, and then that's where you have the whole Beyonce and they're doing secret society, they're having these R. Kelly parties and people are just doing this for fame and all this.
You know what the worst part too is that there is some truth to it, but then it always gets puddled with
lost
bullshit.
Right.
Like for example, they're like you were saying, it started in Bavaria, Germany.
Right.
Mind you, this is a funny fact, is that the Illuminati started because the guy couldn't afford to be a Freemason, so it actually started from the poor. Right. So a lot of people don't know that.
A lot of great stuff started.
Yeah. Well, mostly everything.
Yeah.
But what later went down is there is some truth to it, right? So the Federal Reserve, and you look at the people who probably own the Federal Reserve, because when you hear about who makes the most money, whether it's Bill Gates, whether it's Jay-Z, they don't really talk about is the Rothschild families, the Rockefeller families,
right?
And
Bernie keeps mentioning the Koch brothers too.
Yeah, but they're not near as these guys.
Oh, yeah?
The Rothschild family is estimated between hundreds of billions of dollars all the way to trillions of dollars. And these are the families that started the banking systems. They also started, but also that gets puddled too. I mean, in this topic is you also have like these white supremacist groups who will say that they're the Zions, the Rothschild family, because they're Jewish and they own everything. And this again, it gets puddled. Right. With all this bullshit.
And it's not even white supremacists too. I've heard a lot of black folks talk about the Jews running Hollywood. So that's that old time talk.
Fucking shit.
Yeah.
Regardless of that, though, there is the Rothschild family that does exist. And what's even fucking creepier to me, because this really exists, and this is not even a conspiracy, is Bohemian Grove. I don't know if you know what that is.
No, I don't.
So Bohemian Grove, first off, Alex Jones. He's the one that put this out. Which you got to take that with a grain of salt. But however...
Holy crap, this is leaking.
The ice down.
Yeah, it's going to blow. You're talking too much.
I know, it's like, watch this be the conspiracy. It just kills me right now. Shut the fuck up. Oh, speaking of which, it's not sponsored by anybody. As we're talking about powerful people.
You talking about powerful people.
I'm fucking
I'm just listening.
No. So the Bohemian Grove, this is in the Redwoods in California. This is absolutely true.
Right.
Very powerful men, whether it's political, entertainment, whatever, they meet up in the Redwoods. And it's kind of like a skull and bones thing where they dress up in hoods and they believe, they pray to this owl god and they do mock sacrifices of children.
Sounds like a Batman comic.
Yeah, it sounds fucking preposterous, but this actually exists.
Wow.
And this is the same place where they developed the first nuclear bomb. And so when I think of that, like, that's so fucking creepy how, to this day, the rich and powerful have these weird pagan or cults. Yeah, to this day. But yeah, that's a creepy thing. I think anybody who's powerful, like, for example, Bush Sr., Nixon, all these people have been there.
Right.
So what you're pretty much saying is you believe the Illuminati, but you don't believe not every celebrity that sold their soul to the devil or part of that.
I mean, it's like you said, it's like when you were in grade school and you had that little demonstration where you tell one person something, and you go around the room. By the time it gets to the person who originally said it, it's completely different, and you're missing all the facts and everything like that. And to say like all this stuff is there, you just have to go and research it. You have to do your homework, so to speak. You gotta go encyclopedias, almanacs, all that good stuff. Find this information.
Right.
But now in the society we live in, this generation now,
I want to know.
just looking on your phone or whatever. you don't.
You know,
people get lazy.
Half of it's true and half of it's made up garbage.
Right.
They don't know what it is and what's not.
And that's
Fact check.
the good and bad of the internet. Like the good, bullshit is not as easy anymore. Because someone could say something and say it's a fact. Back in the day when we didn't have it, we'd be like, oh yeah, you might be right. But now we'd be like, let me go on Google. But at the same time, now you have like all these fake media sources who are saying all this fake news.
You're fake news.
Like I think everybody who's been on Facebook has seen someone just put something out there and saying like, oh, this is the truth.
Right.
And then the next thing you're like, not really. This is complete bullshit.
So I'll talk about my favorite conspiracy theory is, and this is one I don't believe, but I wish was true. It's the Mandela Effect.
I knew you were going to say
You knew it.
I knew it.
I don't know, like this
The
is
Bernstein-
Bernstein Bears or the Bernstein Bears. Do you know what it actually was? Mandela Effect. You know?
But I never had the whole that Mandela was in prison and died there.
See, I never heard that either. Like my whole life, I remember he died. 2015, 14, not too long ago.
Did he die?
He did die.
He did die.
Is the Mandela Effect getting to you?
What just happened here?
It wasn't even
sir?
that long ago. He died though.
It wasn't that long ago.
But there's people that swear on everything that he died in the 80s in prison or something like that. They put it on their life. I don't, like I said, I don't believe it because I've never remembered that story. But I wasn't alive in the 80s. Well, 89 I was born. I can't remember that. So, but I've never. My history books have never taught that. So I was never into that. So, but I liked what the lady was going at. Her theory is like there's parallel universes and
I believe that.
Yeah,
I believe that.
Okay. So they're saying that they're meshing together, and some things in that parallel universe are colliding with ours.
Right.
And so some people are having conscious memories of different lives and they have different stories. You can YouTube Mandela Effect, and sometimes they'll show you changes of signs and historical things that people will say. I like to think there's a different world where people make better decisions on politics. I like to think there's a better world where people are nicer to each other. But I don't know if it's true or not, but it's a very good conspiracy theory.
It's definitely I mean, okay, so I do believe in parallel universes, and I do believe from matter to antimatter, I believe those both exist.
Okay.
I just don't believe that someone would change the future to be like, it's not Bernstein, it's or vice versa, whatever it is.
Right.
I just don't believe that part. The other conspiracy that I always laugh at too is like, have you ever heard of the reptilians?
Yes. How the reptilians are running the society, like they're in politics and they're the celebrities and all that.
It's just fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't happen at all.
TV show V.
Huh?
It was a TV show.
V?
I think it was called V.
The reptilians?
Yeah, but they would have human faces, but underneath they were reptiles.
Nerd!
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
No, this was a
it's
regular
called-
TV
No, it's
show.
another one. Doctor Who's another one.
Yeah.
It's called V?
I wanted to say it was called V. I just.
Well, Marvel has this. They have the scrolls that they're going to introduce actually in the movie Captain Marvel, where the scrolls they're aliens that shapeshift.
Watch this actually be true. How crazy would it be if someone's like,
Yeah.
we're reptiles.
But you're bringing it up if it's true, so not me. But I've heard that theory though, and then people actually have videos where people's eyes are like. There's this video of Justin Bieber's eyes blinking.
Or do you hear the clone theory too? That they like all these celebrities.
All
are
these
killing
celebrities.
them?
I've heard Eminem's clone. Because
Have you seen
he's
that
not
video?
on drugs anymore.
When he's like at an NFL game or something, and he's acting
Yeah,
all
he's
weird?
moving around.
But like people are like,
Eminem's just weird.
I know. That's what I was like. That's Eminem just being Eminem. Like, what are you talking about? When has Eminem been normal? Like,
Never.
That's the question I
Never.
want to know.
Never.
So you guys any other favorite ones or?
Oh yeah,
touch on real
I
quick.
could go down that whole.
I do
wormhole.
believe 9/11 was set up.
That one is. I mean, there's
That
so
one
many.
I-
JFK, I believe in.
JFK.
The moon landing's weird. There's things that don't make sense to me.
See, I do believe we went to the moon, but if we didn't, I guess the argument was we're trying to beat Russia, so we're gonna give you that illusion that we did. So
Well, my thing is I don't know, and I think that's what a lot of people don't say nowadays is I don't know.
either.
Like,
Yeah.
I think that actually has a lot more power.
yeah.
But one thing I do know is it is kind of funny that Neil Armstrong and Buzz, they were, I don't know exactly where, so don't quote me here, but I think they went to Scandinavia or somewhere. They were giving them a moon rock, and they tested this moon rock, and it was actually like some wood. Like it wasn't actually from the moon at all.
Dang.
Now, granted, that could have been them just like, oh shit, we don't have a moon rock. Like, we need to give something.
Hey, bring that over.
Hey, you just make, and that's very possible too.
Right.
But it is kind of, weird. those are the ones that I could believe in. But the one that I'm about to create a conspiracy theory for you guys. Do you guys know what the Atacama humanoid is?
No.
Heard it.
Google it.
Atacama humanoid.
So it was found in the Atacama Desert in Argentina or Chile. It's one of those places. I'm sorry, I'm bad at that. But what they found was a 6-inch figure. It had 10 ribs. It definitely lasted until the age of 6, and this is being tested in Stanford. But if you look at this thing, it looks like something from Independence Day. It's kind of creepy looking, kind of weird looking. But they don't know what it is. What they do know is that it does share, I want to say, was it 91% human DNA? But I mean, bananas have
like
77% DNA. Yeah, well, they don't know. They don't know what it is.
Might look into this.
But here's where my conspiracy comes in. Do you guys remember the whole like looking for the gold in El Dorado?
Yeah.
Back in the day. Well, one of the whole wives' tales was that there was these small figures that were the ones protecting the gold and killing people, and that was always the conspiracy that people would go there and they'd start being missing. And now they're finding these little small figures around. So who knows?
Insert X-Files. Okay, cool, man. I'm gonna look into that. That's actually very interesting. Cool, man. Aliens, ghosts, whatever. If you're out there, stay away from me.
And show me so I can believe
And
it.
show me, yeah. And then tell me.
They'll be like, dude, I got probed, man. Very easy. Kind of liked it. I'm not gonna lie about it.
I can't remember who posted that meme, but it was like a UFO came here and it's like, take me to your leader.
Oh, and they show, and then they're like,
"You sure?"
No, I saw it. Who was it? It was Conceited.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that Conceited face, like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can have our leader. Okay.
Oh, just take him, please.
Just take him.
Please.